Hey, Garage Logic fans, Mishki here, slipping in ever so briefly to mention that I have a podcast that comes out every Wednesday and every Friday, twice a week now. The show is pretty much about everything you care about and are interested in and need in your life and want to know more about. I tailored the darn thing specifically to your liking. I tailored it to your loves, to your true passions. That took a long time. I'm spent. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely wasted.
What's coming up on the Krabby Coffee Show?
I accidentally cut my leg off yesterday.
Anyway,
call Josh Arnold.
I'm rolling, bro.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1678, December 11th, 2025. 56 degrees, the record high. That was in 1913, 14 below in 1972. And get this, and I don't remember it, 16.3 inches of snow on this day in 2010. Did anybody remember that? That's a lot of snow.
I think that was 15 years ago.
That's a long time ago,
2010. Joe. You don't remember that?
No.
Call Josh Arnold at
wait, yes. You know why?
I don't remember.
That's when the roof collapsed at the Metrodome.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Joe, on the morning of December 12th, 2010, the Metrodome roof.
This is the 10th. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's the 11th.
Yeah.
It caved in under pressure from heavy snow, and the Vikings game against the New York Giants eventually was moved to Detroit because of the 17 inches of snow on December 11th.
Yeah, I do. Well, now when you put it in dome collapse context, I do remember it.
That video is so great. Just watch it go.
Is that the one where we saw it in the darkened stadium and all of a sudden?
Well, because remember, Fox had the stationary camera set up overnight, and you just see the thing going.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Boys, I just have a brief chunk kicking update.
Oh, boy.
We've made the world of AI. We, meaning Garage Logic.
How so?
Chuck, no, that's
Chunk.
Somebody whose email name is Me Just Me said, Joe, longtime listener, I looked up what is chunk kicking just to see what the internets would have to say about the phrase, and attached is the straightaway hit I was fed. Okay. Thank you and good luck. AI overview. What is chunk kicking? The term chunk kicking can refer to a few different concepts depending on the context. Then they define it in video games. A chunk kick is an exploit or error where a player is consistently disconnected from a server. In a general regional sense, it can simply mean the physical act of kicking a chunk of something. In local media podcasts, chunk kicking is a phrase that has appeared in the titles and discussions of a Minnesota-based talk show called Garage Logic, which has discussed a chunk kicking ruling and even generated a song about it. Well, we didn't, a listener did. The exact meaning in this context relates to the specific local rulings or discussions that were likely fully understood by their local listeners. So, how could AI know that Garage Logic talked about chunk kicking?
Gabe, I will yield my balance of time. Is that how you say that?
So I assume because you used AI overview that's going to be just a Google search.
He did. Yeah.
Well, you used the term.
Yeah, I did.
So that will basically just go over everything that's posted on the internet and say, well, this is the context of what's chunk kicking. So it went videos, they have that on video games, or it had videos on people golfing or whatever. Were also a video, and were also posted all over the internet.
I'll be
chunk
damned.
kicking and Garage Logic.
There it is. Okay, thank you.
Gabe, you lost me almost immediately.
I even understood that.
I didn't.
Yeah. I have a sad note. Is this Positive Thursday?
Yes.
It is.
I'm sorry then for this. From John Gargaro. I heard in the show yesterday someone brought up the amount their property taxes have increased. I live in St. Louis Park, bought my home in 2020, and since then my property taxes have increased 30%, $1,500. Living in this state has become embarrassing, and my wife and I discuss moving regularly. We are in our late 20s, and with the soon-to-be enacted Leave Act, life will only continue to become more expensive as the working class of Minnesota foots the bill for those who don't want to work. Anecdotally, I have friends of similar age and background, college-educated, master's degree, professional licenses, who are all beginning to contemplate leaving the state. The way I see it, either normal people like this have to see the system for what it is and start playing the games everyone else is playing, or, if you humor me, we think back to what was a driving cause which our forefathers founded the country. Too many taxes on tea. I'm hoping your continued discussion of wanting to stop paying taxes altogether catches some steam, and there becomes a way we can quit paying these taxes when none of them go to the true public service. Appreciate you letting me ramble, John. I don't think the threats to move from, say, married couples without children, I don't think those are empty threats. I think they're, in a large part, they're empty threats if you're of a certain age, like me. They're empty threats if you got 3 or 4 kids in the local school system. But I don't think they're empty threat. I don't know if he and his wife have kids, but I'm going to presume they don't. I'm going to assume they don't, just for the sake of the argument. And if they do something that can be done elsewhere, if their calling is to do some sort of work with their professional license, whatever it may be in, if they can do that elsewhere, I don't think these are any longer empty threats to leave the state. It's a dreadful, dreadful mess we're in. And I think people are seeing it based on letters to the editor I read, not in the Minneapolis paper, but in the St. Paul paper. There, you can count on letters to the editor often reflecting the incredulity of people when they look at their tax statements. And you know, again, we haven't been paying attention, and we've been taken for granted. But now people are paying attention, if for no other reason than this is a document that they have, and they sit down at their kitchen table and open it, and they go, "We're getting a 15% raise in our increase in our taxes." And that's awakening them to what has happened while we haven't been paying attention.
This is my niece and her husband. Her husband owns a demolition company.
All right.
And they are now Florida residents, and they were peace out walls. We're leaving Minnesota
but
as a result.
Did he take his demolition company with him?
I do not. I think his sons have the demolition company. They expanded.
Did they stay here?
The sons are still here, but they're taking.
Well, in other words, this guy retired.
Well, from my understanding, they're having to do a lot of out-of-state work because developers are no longer tearing down buildings.
Okay.
So they're having a lack of ambition here and are going to places where people are tearing down buildings to build new ones.
Would you like some numbers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Since 2020, Minnesota has experienced net domestic migration losses, with nearly 50,000 people leaving for other states between 20 and 22. This slowed to about 4,700 net losses in 2023. High-income earners, there was also a noticeable spike in high-income earners, that means 200K or more, moving out between 20 and 21, a 38% jump from prior years.
This was Garofalo's big deal, was net migration.
It was, yes.
See, it's too late for me, so I don't even bother threatening because I'm not leaving. It's just too late.
I am so emotionally tied to where I'm at right now. We got here in 1883. I'm on family property.
Hey, I go back to a sod hut, okay?
So but you could leave, couldn't you, mentally? Are you ready? Obviously, you can't.
I can't physically leave.
with your situation.
Too many kids here, too many connections, too old. Forget it. I can't.
I don't think I can.
Could you
I
rent
don't-
like maybe a basement in Chicago?
That's worse than here.
Oh, true.
I know a former a financial planner, a former bar owner that are now Naples residents as a result of the income taxes. It was cheaper for them to leave Minnesota and have 6 months and a day down in Florida than pay the taxes here, which is what Garofalo was just talking about.
JR guy, and he doesn't want his name dragged through political issues, but Beery, Derek Beery.
The car guy on Motor Trend TV.
Yeah, Vice Grip
Garage.
He left and moved to Tennessee specifically due to taxes.
Well, again, this is a game we've played before. It's pointless. Those who can leave, I no longer think it's an empty threat that you will. I don't blame you one bit.
I think we've buried.
I don't like living in anywhere that the likes of Walls has shaped.
Yeah.
It's just a dreadful, dreadful situation. He's a dreadful, dreadful guy. Governor Cocwomble.
Did we bury
Elmer Fraud.
Did we bury the lead, by the way?
On?
We just found out that Matthew has a relative that owns a demolition company.
Well, I don't find
That's on
that.
the wife's side.
Oh, okay, that explains
That's
it.
on
then.
her side, yeah.
Okay, that
I
explains
can
it.
drive a skid loader and a front end loader.
He'll take you. He'll take you.
Do you realize where our governor's been most recently?
Washington.
Seattle, Washington. This is from, who wrote this?
Alpha.
Yeah.
Carlene Johnson.
Yeah. Minnesota Governor Walz under fire for failing to prevent a massive welfare fraud scheme in his state. You know, that's even written incorrectly. I apologize to the reporter. But that, by the way, a completely different topic, and I'll come back to Walz. Can anyone access the front page of the Wall Street Journal now? John, can you do it electronically?
Yes. Today's or?
Yeah, today.
I can.
There was a fascinating story about this current Nobel Peace Prize winner, the anti-Maduro in Venezuela. Her name's, I think, Machado.
Correct. Yep.
And she left Venezuela to work her way to Norway to get the prize. And now there's some speculation that she won't be able to re-enter Venezuela. But she left right out of a Cloak and Dagger novel. She was smuggled out in a fishing boat. They had to first call the first contacted the U.S. military to make sure they weren't bombed.
Wow.
But it's written, and this is very surprising for me, for a Wall Street Journal piece. It's really lousy reporting. And if you read me the first couple of paragraphs, I can point out why, if you have that story up, John.
Sure. Wearing a wig and a disguise, Maria Corina Machado began her escape from Venezuela on Monday afternoon. The Venezuelan opposition leader was trying to get to Norway by Wednesday in time to receive the Nobel Peace Prize that she won for challenging the country's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro. After finally arriving in Oslo, Machado stood on the balcony of the city's Central Grand Hotel early Thursday and waved to supporters. They yelled Valiente, Spanish for brave, and sang the Venezuelan national anthem. Before she could make the trip, Machado had to get from the Caracas suburb, where she had been hiding for a year, to a coastal fishing village where a skiff awaited her. Over the course of 10 nerve-wracking hours, Machado and two people helping her escape hit 10 military checkpoints.
Stop. Oh, no, continue. And then it says they got through them.
Yeah, avoiding capture each time before she reached the coast by midnight.
And what coast? Does it mean the coast of Venezuela fishing village or some yonder coast? The whole thing drove me crazy. It was not answering my questions as I read it. And then as you and if you read deeper into it, there are more questions that weren't answered. How can you go across, fishing skiff? That would have to be described to me, because she ended up where, John? In Curacao? Curacao?
Yes.
However you say that?
Yeah, Curacao. Is that how you say it?
And she ended up there. That's a large. That's almost replicating the journey of who's the guy in the Antarctic that sailed off in the dead of winter and rescued his people?
Shackleton.
Shackleton.
Yeah.
I mean, she's out on the sea in a fishing boat. Maybe that was a 38-foot fishing boat that's called a skiff. The adventure she undertook to get to Norway is fascinating, but I felt as though I was being deceived when I read the story. I just felt that I wasn't.
Are you addressing the writer or possibly the editor?
Both. An editor should have said, "Hey, Jose, whoever wrote the thing, what kind of boat was this? How did they get through the military installations? How did they have a plane waiting for in Curacao?" It's all wonderful stuff. It's fascinating.
I've heard you fighting with editors before, and even though you've denied it.
I've never fought with an editor.
No, not you. Do you think the editor would have cut this for space?
Oh, no, hell, they got all the space they want. That's a healthy newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, back to Walls and Seattle. I'm sorry for that.
This is far more interesting to me. What about just the mechanics of the pair?
Kenny, I didn't learn anything, and I was desperate. This was a hell of a story. How did you pull this off, lady? How did you get from where you were hiding in Caracas suburbia down to the beach, and then the boat was waiting for you? Who was helping you? How were they able to contact the military and say, "Please don't shoot us"? This is big time stuff.
I agree with everything you just said. I have those same questions, but my additional question for you is, did she or he write it correctly? The word that comes to mind is mechanically. Was the verb, the subject, was everything in the right place?
Oh, yeah.
Was it constructed correctly?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a multi-byline story, isn't it, John?
3 writers on the story.
Oh, boy.
And I just think, it's just me being nitpicking when I read newspapers, that there was so much more they could have done with this story. Because at this point, what difference does it make how you tell me she did it? She's gone. She's safe. She's in Norway.
Yeah.
What? Tell me the spy tingling Len Dayton details of this. Let's go here.
Right. The part where they alluded to contacting the United States so they don't get bombed.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
They had to
me.
give them a description of the boat. They had to give them their route.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just a wonderful. I'm glad she made it. She seems like a very interesting, well-meaning gal. Hell of a story. Now the speculation, as I said, is can she return to Venezuela to continue her counter attack against Maduro? He might have people waiting to shoot her.
Joe, if you would have told the 16-year-old Kenny that there'd come a day when he'd be fascinated by the writing process and how a sentence and a paragraph is constructed, I would have cut off my right arm and said, no way.
May I interject one more thing here?
Yes.
Because you said she wants to return to Venezuela. Yeah. And it has, at the end of the story, that she's taken trips out before and plans to use similar secret methods. Yeah. Do you think maybe some of what happened was...
Well, maybe. But once she's at sea... I can be told anything.
But you see what John is saying.
No, I do. I do.
Yeah.
The next time, if she wants to do it, then
I suppose, John.
Why would you go back, though? This is like a Russian journalist going back to Russia, and then all of a sudden he falls out of a plane at 40,000 feet. You know what I mean?
Presumed dead.
Yeah. Why would you go back? Why would you tempt fate?
That's the greatest way to know whether to use presume or assume.
What?
Presume means you're relatively certain about something. He fell out of an airplane at 40,000 feet and is presumed dead. Okay. He's not assumed dead because you pretty much know he's dead.
Got it.
He's presumed dead. She went shopping. I assume she went to buy a scarf because you have no bleeping clue.
Rookie, I can help you understand. It's the same way when Royce interviewed former Green Bay Packers head coach Ray Rhodes when he was certain.
Certain. Exactly.
Can I tell you something?
Certain.
Can I tell you something?
Certain.
Can Can I tell you something?
You should.
We didn't get far on that Walls story, did
I'm
we?
coming right back to it after this.
Don't touch that radio dial, G.
No,
I'm sorry, but what we just talked about is far more interesting to me.
It's a podcast dial, Chris.
It was just an expression.
I don't care.
Okay, sorry.
I don't care.
I hope your garage door is working great.
We'll be certain Precision will be there on time.
Let me tell you something. I have news for you.
presume.
I have news for you.
I assume.
That door is going to be going up and down frequently because you got to get rid of the garage crud. You got to get that outside with your. Don't tell me that thing.
Scraper.
Come on, you can do it.
No, squeegee,
The slush
squeegee. And then you get your
Okay,
shovel
Rick,
and get
man.
rid of that, and it's going to be going up and down. I hope your garage door works. If you need a new door, call Precision Garage Door. Models for every budget. They send out a designer that's free of charge. The GLers right now get $100 off on a single door, $200 off on a double door. Just as importantly, if you like your garage door, but you've been using it so much to get rid of that crud that assembles in your garage, and you think she's acting a little strange, get a noisy door tune-up special for $149. They'll do a diagnostic check and a 25-point safety inspection. So book online at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com, or call Precision Door at 612-6985 to schedule your free on-site new door estimate or to book a Precision Door noisy door tune-up special.
Reavers here once again for my guy, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Well, sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? Well, Mr. Money Talk is going to be able to sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute, no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute, no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Blue cheer on the Garage Logic podcast. It's already been established. It is Positive Thursday today, and as usual, it's brought to us by Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care there at 1060 County Road E in Shoreview. Owner, GLer, Mike Schoonover. By the way, third generation Schoonover to run the shop. He usually joins us for our weekly chat, but he has a very fun family affair to attend to today, so I'm going to do it alone. And that's good because I received a wonderful email from a fella who recently had work done by the Schoonover team. It's from Brad. Hey, Kenny, just wanted to let you know what a great job Schoonover did on my F-150 after I was assaulted by a deer 3 weeks ago. They were helpful through the whole repair process, kept me informed, and my truck came back way cleaner than when I brought it in. They are the only body shop I'll let work on my truck. Very impressed with Schoonover. My insurance company, not so much. Thanks, Brad. What I really like about that is that last company about the insurance company. What that means, that last comment, about the company. That means that Schoonover works for you, for us, not your insurance company. They will not settle with inferior parts or par, half par, bad service just to appease your insurance company. They always work for us, the customers, much to the dismay of the insurance companies. You know what? We don't even have to deal with our insurance companies. Schoonover does all of that for us. And that's just one of, 10 million reasons that they are the official shop of GL. Anything you need for your ride, and I mean anything at all, not just body work, you can find it at Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care. They're on the web, SchoonoverBodyWorks.com.
I was talking about Governor Cocwomble before I so rudely interrupted myself. Walz was in Seattle Tuesday, 2 days ago, as a special guest at Governor Bob Ferguson's fundraising luncheon, telling those in attendance that Somalis were being demonized and vowing to bring more Somalis into the state. First of all, I wonder who, on a case like that, do you think Ferguson's camp had to pay for Walz's flight?
100%.
I hope so. These folks better never mistake our kindness for our weakness, because he's still using that kindness BS as to excuse the fraud. These folks never better make the mistake our kindness for weakness, because we are going to defend our neighbors. These guys bring out the worst in me. I don't know who he's talking about. Trump, I guess. I hate it when I get to that point where it's petty, and I hate it when that sense of anger comes up on you, Walz said. But the antidote to that is positive actions to improve lives that go against what they are trying to do. So instead of demonizing our Somali community, we are going to do more to welcome more in. This was at the Washington State Convention Center. Drew 1,000 supporters for this Washington Governor Ferguson, including table sponsors who paid $2,500 a table. Walz drew a standing ovation. A standing ovation.
I wouldn't stand for him.
I just feel like I'm the one living in a parallel universe. Walz drew a standing ovation upon his introduction, despite the fact he's been under intense scrutiny and a federal investigation concerning massive fraud involving the Somali community and state social services programs under his watch.
Can you pause a second?
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is that one of the most petty things you've ever heard? Once again, and he's done it many times, he's doubling down just to show them. I mean, even if he doesn't do it, just saying it, he's just provoking, right?
Yeah, and I have thoughts about that. You came here for your governor, Walz continued, for someone who is super effective at improving lives. That's not really the government's job. Walz said in taking the stage where donors enjoyed lunch in the convention center. But you also came here because you love this state and you love the country, and at this moment in time, gathering together with people who are willing to stand up and speak out for what's right and stand behind leaders who put themselves out there to defend democracy and those without a voice, on and on and on. He wasted no time bashing Trump. There's just some people that really rub Donald Trump the wrong way, and I'm guessing it's people who are smart, said Walz, referring to the fact that Ferguson was a state chess champion. Okay. That drew a big hand. Their governor in Washington's a state chess champion. Walz then jumped into the controversy he's facing in Minnesota by doubling down on his support for immigrants. We have in Minnesota, per capita-wise, more refugees than any other state, he said, once again eliciting cheers from the crowd. Right now, our neighbors are being demonized. Our neighbors are being terrorized and literally picked up off the streets. And then he rants about the ICE people who are creating terrible optics. It does not seem like a well-trained group of people. Many of them recently hired and doing stupid things, if you ask me. But why continue this? You know what Walz is up to. Here's what I think's happening. And I don't know if Walz has been coached to go this direction or if he's doing it on his own. But I seriously fear that fraud is going to end up on the back burner. I seriously fear that the fraud will not be eliminated in Minnesota so long as Walz can continue to foment the great divide between this state and Trump. If you're against the fraud, Walz is carefully working the angles to make it appear that you're pro-Trump. If you're against the fraud, you're demonizing the Somali community to the point where we want more Somalis. Okay, fine. This is a ruse that in this state can work. It can't work anywhere else. Walz could not be the governor anywhere else. He would have been figured out a long time ago and rejected. In this state, where people have not been paying attention until they're getting their property tax statements, Walz is successful in his planting the idea that the fraud, he'll get to the point where he's going to blame the fraud on Trump. Right now, he's coasting along, realizing that so long as I fly around and attend these fundraisers and I sell my own state on this same BS, I can make people think that we're the good guys and Trump's the bad guys. And I think what's going to happen is the fraud is going to be pushed aside. I fear that mightily.
Case in point. Remember what happened when EBT was going to be cut? Mm-hmm. How was that spun just in this state alone? Mm-hmm. Look at what the Orange Man is doing. Even though we're just ignoring the fact that it's wrought with fraud nationwide, by the way, not just in this state. And that's exactly what will happen, Joe.
No one has said on this show that all Somalis are guilty. What I have said is all Somalis who have been appearing in the news are thieves, but not all Somalis appear in the news. Walz is running with the idea that the country's so divided and people are so ill-informed that he can make the fraud sound like a Trump problem. And I think that's what's happening.
I desperately want to disagree with you. I want to give credit to the voters and my fellow people from Minnesota and say everybody's smarter than that, including the Democrats and the liberals. But until somebody from the DFL, Minnesota's Democratic Party, comes forward and says something, I think what you're saying could easily come to fruition.
I think it's happening.
I think it is. I really want to give credit to the voters and the people saying, no, Joe, we're smarter than that. The Democrats, my neighbors, are smarter than that. But until somebody comes forward, that's where it's headed. And that's how I feel anyway.
But no matter what happens in this country, if you don't like it, that's Trump's fault. If you like it, Trump's had nothing to do with it. That's just a nationwide divide. That's just the way it is. And either Walz is being coached or he's got enough non-dead brain cells left to have come up with this and know instinctively, if I keep selling Trump on this deal, I can get this fraud out of the way. I can push this to the side because people will focus their anger on Trump. Now, the timing of Trump sending ICE people here could not have been worse.
Right.
Because the ICE people do not strike me as competent law enforcement agents.
They're also not competent at public relations.
No, they're making too many mistakes. They're grabbing innocent citizens. They get out of the car instantly firing their toxic chemicals.
Yeah,
they're acting like morons.
Yeah.
And the timing could not have been worse because when you take all that into consideration and then you sell Trump on top of it, fraud is taking a back seat right now in the news. It's taking a back seat, even though we don't even know the worst of it yet, even though it continues. It's all being done with Trump's knowledge and with Walz's knowledge, and he's getting away with it. He's getting away with it by selling you this false gaslight version of America where Trump obviously caused this fraud. He's selling it to you. And in this state, it will work. It wouldn't work in... How many states do we have? We have 50?
I don't know anymore.
We have 50 or 51?
Yeah, you're funny.
We got 50. It won't work in it might work in Illinois, and it works here.
Wait a minute. In Joe's defense, has Trump officially acquired Canada as the 51st
That's right.
state?
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, you used the term bad optics, but when you jump out of your SUV and just start blasting the crowd, have you ever read a history book? Or
It's like the Falcons on a winter carnival parade.
Yeah.
They hop off the fire truck and run in and put a black smudge on somebody.
Yes.
But it's a little more violent than that.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, you guys need press agents or something because you are doing it wrong. My goodness.
How many of those guys you think can do a pull-up? Honest to God. Well, and we're
what? Hold on, Joe. And we're not disagreeing with their motives of removing criminals.
Find some bad guys.
There you go.
You don't get to take a guy off the street because he happens to be black. I'm sorry, that's not the way it works. That's not how it should work.
And the kid this week had an idea. They wouldn't look at it. Dragged him all the way down to the station before they said, "Oh, oopsie!" And
they took him out to Bloomington.
And you dummies have to realize that the press is going to eat this up.
Oh, that's right. It's going to be Trump's fault. In the meantime, we're learning from 5 Eyewitness News that the DHS, Department of Human Services fraud hotline, is not working.
Oh.
I think it's been overwhelmed.
You mean like when Taylor tickets go on sale,
Yeah.
the phone crashes?
Right. 5 Eyewitness News filed a public records request for copies of tips and complaints made to the Department of Human Services Program Integrity Oversight Hotline.
Oh.
They received data on Wednesday morning and continues to review the information provided to look into state oversight. We wanted to know more about the DHS, what the DHS was hearing over the last 5 years, but part of our request was fulfilled by DHS covering the period from January 22 to Feb 24. Five Eyewitness News asked DHS how many complaints and tips were provided during that time frame. At the time of publication, the agency was still working to provide an answer to that question. In the meantime, if you call the hotline now, I guess you're not getting anywhere.
Can we do that?
I don't know.
Let me see if I can find the number.
That led DHS Inspector General Office employee to check, writing to a colleague, "I just tried calling the DHS hotline and was notified that I could not leave a message because the mailbox is full." It seemed like this is a significant issue that remains unresolved. Other records showed a DHS supervisor asking investigators for a quick turnaround on one investigation that came in for a tip. Records indicated a tipster reported alleged personal care assistant fraud, saying he brags, but the PCA provider does not come to give him any service, but he puts in the paperwork, gets the check, and splits the money with the PCA worker. Well, it's happening in every department. Walz is running a completely fraud-friendly government. No DFLer has spoken out against it. No DFLer has stood with the people of Minnesota to be appalled. Not one that I'm aware of. Not one.
That's a good way of putting it. Stood with us.
You know how weird my mind works just based upon what you were saying earlier?
I'm afraid I do.
Yeah.
When you said fraud-friendly government, I could see that as a campaign slogan.
Oh, yeah. We're here for you to steal as much as possible.
Our neighbors.
Because we like it in terms of equity. We think that creates an equitable situation. Let the saps who work and pay taxes continue to be saps, and we'll just give you the money.
They work for you.
Mm-hmm. Our citizens in Minnesota work for you. We are fraud-friendly.
Wow.
We are here to bleep you.
Yeah. You're here for one reason, aren't you, Cockwomble?
Chris, I sent you the fraud hotline numbers if you want to be so bold.
Oh.
try them.
Tell you, let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's call them.
Can we do this first,
Sure.
and then we can come back?
Yeah, take a break.
I know, but I need you to read a thing.
Oh, you
there.
want me to tell you about EcoFun?
Absolutely.
It's a great Christmas sale right now. You get a free kids electric bike with virtually everything you buy anything you buy in the store. I had documentation about this. Where the hell is it? It's right here.
It's right there.
It's right here. Free 16-inch electric bike for kids. That's an $800 value with the purchase of any e-bike, ATV, youth ATV, dirt bike, golf cart, wave runner, motorcycle, or scooter purchased. Step through electric bikes, $18.99, on sale for $8.99. Plus, you get the free e-bike for the kids. ATV with 50-inch snowplow on sale for $58.99. Plus, you qualify for the bike for the kids.
Come on.
Yamaha generators in stock at both stores, Forest Lake and Burnsville. I'll tell you where those stores are in a moment. Those are on sale for as low as $9.99 for a pull start and $10.99 for the electric start model. Those are EF 3,000-watt Yamaha generators. This is going to be the most fun Christmas shopping you've ever experienced. It's EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake. It's on Highway 97, immediately west of Interstate 35. A couple of roundabouts and bing, bang, boom, there you are. Great big news store. You're going to love it. Down in Burnsville on the Service Road of Life on County Road 40, near County Road 42. It's ecofunmotorsports.com.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
How many of us are being compromised right now? I know I am, because you want to know why?
On account of you want to know why?
Because I'm on the internet. Every time we log on to the internet, we're compromised by unregulated, greasy shysters that are making money on our backs. They're doing that by selling our information, addresses, sensitive personal financial information, even our Social Security numbers. They collect it, then they publish it, then they profit from it. And then they set all of us up for scams and identity theft. The way to stop it is Incogni. Think of them as our security posse. They're out fighting for us. You give them the go-ahead, and they're going to get busy. They get to work automatically fighting hundreds of data brokers. And this isn't just once. It's ongoing. They keep at it, monitoring your information, because your data reappears every single time you log on the internet. And we're all on the internet all day long. Incogni guards our sensitive information like a vault, a high security vault. Now, when you sign up, I want you to get the Family Unlimited plan. That includes custom removals, and that means when you find a strange link tied with your name, you send Incogni that URL, and their experts get to work right now, and we'll take it down. Secure your digital life right now. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code GarageLogic, and that gets you 60% off an annual plan. Go to incogni.com/GarageLogic. Again, use that code GarageLogic. Get 60% off an annual plan at incogni.com/GarageLogic.
All right, before we get to John, we're going to call the Department of Human Services fraud hotline. It's feeling pretty fraudy out. And we're going to, I have a tip for them. So if we could hear them here.
Thank you for calling the MN Department of Human Services provider and recipient tip or referral line.
I have a tip.
Your tips and referrals are incredibly valuable, and we appreciate your efforts to help us stop fraud and abuse.
And my tip might be worth $1 billion.
Please provide as much information about your tip or referral as possible.
All right.
Include names of organizations and persons involved,
Oh, I
dates
will.
of any specific instances, and as much information about the incident or activity as possible.
Yes, I will.
While you can remain anonymous, we request you provide your name and contact information.
I'm going to tell you who I am.
If you don't provide your contact information, DHS may not be able to investigate your concerns or get all the information needed to complete an investigation. Every provider or recipient report we receive is important and will be reviewed by the Office of Inspector General. However, not every submission tip will turn into an investigation. Due to the volume of tips and referrals, it is not possible to contact every complainant. Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up.
Maybe your voice box would have room in it if you didn't have a 10-minute introduction. This is Joe Souchere from the podcast known as Garage Logic, and I got a good tip for you. Have you ever gone to the governor's office and grilled him? That tip might be worth $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion. We don't even know yet. You can get a hold of me at garagelogic.com. Thank you.
Stop calling and asking.
All right. Here's John Heidt in his newsroom.
Thank you, Joe. This news is brought to you
Good job, Bear.
North American Banking Company.
No fraud associated with Bilski and Company.
Minneapolis police are investigating 2 homicides that happened less than an hour apart last night. A spokesperson for Minneapolis police confirmed a man was killed around 9:26 p.m. on the 2900 block of Emerson Avenue North, and about 9:52 a woman was killed in the 800 block of Franklin Avenue East. No arrests have been made in either case as of this morning. Chief Brian O'Hara said the first shooting appeared to have come from an argument that escalated. The chief said investigators believe at least 2 people were involved in that shooting, both dressed in black. They both ran away before police got there. In the second shooting, the chief says officers found a woman in her 30s without a pulse. When they arrived at the scene, they performed CPR, but the woman was pronounced dead at a hospital a short time later. Investigators say a group of people had gathered at that location, and at some point, an altercation happened and shots were fired.
John, I searched the stories. Maybe you saw something I didn't. Has there been a big outcry of people wanting stricter gun control laws over these 2 shootings?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I'm anticipating a big protest. Though.
There was also something, John, these 2 are not connected to each other, are they?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as far as
they don't think so anyway. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Hours after that, a Minneapolis police officer shot at an armed man accused of assaulting his neighbor. Police say the officer's shots didn't hit the suspect, who was later arrested. No injuries reported. This all happened about 12:30 this morning. Man called 911, said someone had just pointed a gun at the caller's mother, according to Chief O'Hara. The caller and his mom went outside, heard a gun rack, presuming it was the same suspect, the woman's neighbor. Police got at the scene near 5th Avenue South and East Lake Street about 5 minutes after the 911 call. They began investigating. As they went to make contact with the neighbor, O'Hara says he came out of his apartment holding a gun. Officers told him to drop the weapon. He didn't listen, did not drop the gun, and an officer fired 2 gunshots. O'Hara said nobody was hurt by the gunshots. The suspect was quickly taken into custody. He's been booked on suspicion of assault. The chief said it's believed the man was intoxicated at the time. Speaking of Minneapolis, Star Tribune reporting the city council, a follow-up to a story we had yesterday, did overwhelmingly approve the nearly $46,000 pay raise for the city's mayor next year and a smaller raise for themselves 2 years from now. The measure now awaits the signature of Mayor Jacob Fry. Those raises were pitched by the city clerk's office.
Wait a minute. They get to approve their own raise?
That's correct. Yes. And the guy who signs off on it, the mayor, gets the biggest raise. So,
man, that's a good club to be a part of.
Anybody here received a $46,000 raise recently?
I have not.
I received a $46,000 pay cut.
The raises were pitched by the city clerk's office after a 2023 survey found the Minneapolis mayor's salary was lagged behind peers of comparable cities, including St. Paul. Council members, though, they make more money than their peers in 9 comparable cities. Under this new plan approved by the 11-to-1 vote, council members' salaries would go up in 2028 during the last 2 years of their 4-year terms. Those raises would be based on the average cost of living adjustment paid to the city's collective bargaining units. Voting against it was council member Jason Chavez. And I guess it should be noted, council member Jeremiah Ellison was absent.
Yeah, he's at Harvard, John. He's a fellow.
dipping.
He's a fellow at Harvard.
Don't you get to submit a vote from out of state?
No,
you don't get to do that.
Not for money.
You have to be present.
I don't know anything about that.
It's like winning a raffle at a county fair. You got to be present to win.
And the wonderful irony is that they're all up in arms about the overtime the Minneapolis Police Department has charged.
God, that's a great point.
A police department they vilified.
That they destroyed. Yeah.
Some stuff you alluded to earlier in the show, Joe. A couple of ICE incidents are actually making national news. A couple incidents that happened here in the Twin Cities. A 20-year-old Minneapolis resident joined by Mayor Jacob Fry and Police Chief Brian O'Hara detailed what he called an erroneous arrest by ICE. The man is a U.S. citizen. His name, Mubashir, was on lunch break from his job when ICE agents arrived to arrest him. According to Mubashir, he was slammed to the ground and put into a chokehold. He said, "I told them I'm a U.S. citizen." They didn't seem to care. He said the agent never identified himself as an ICE agent. The agent put Mushabir into a squad where he said ICE needed to verify that he was a citizen, and after several failed attempts to scan his face and fingerprints, they took him to the detention center at the Bishop Henry Whipple Federal Building. At one point, a man approached the squad with a copy of Mubashir's passport, but the ICE agent said that Mubashir would still be detained. Mubashir said he requested water and medical assistance, but was denied water and told there weren't any medical personnel there. Finally, he was given his phone to pull up his identification, was let go after agents scanned his fingerprints.
These guys are buffoons. I'm sorry. This isn't working. This is not working. And you are going to contribute to fraud being put aside in this state.
Mayor Fry called out the ICE agents involved in the violence and unwillingness to believe that Mushabir is a citizen. The chief added city leaders don't object to lawful arrests, but hope that the arrest can be well planned for the safety of everyone involved. Meanwhile, a North Minneapolis woman, a U.S. citizen, was arrested early Tuesday as she tried to observe immigration and custom enforcement agents detain a few of her neighbors. 55-year-old Susan Tincher says that she received an alert of ICE activity around 6:30 in the morning. She had walked over to a home in the Willard Hay neighborhood and approached an officer at a distance. She said the officer ordered her to get back. She said she refused and was quickly surrounded and thrown to the ground and handcuffed. An ICE spokesperson says Tincher was arrested after she, quote, assaulted a federal agent, tried to break through a security perimeter set up for public safety, ignored lawful commands, and became violent. Other observers at the scene got Tincher's name to ensure her husband was notified of her arrest. She was released from custody at Bishop Henry Whipple Federal Building about 6 hours later. She says she was told she would be charged with obstruction.
This moron left the house fully intending to get arrested.
I saw her on the news.
Yeah, and she got what she deserved.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have some federal. We'll have federal. We'll have national and international
federal news.
Just a minute. Well, at this point. Anyway, let's first tell you about Aura Frames. Christmas.
Would you like to introduce yourself, John?
Hi, that's right. Let me throw it to John.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks, John. I appreciate that. I want to tell you about Aura Frames because Christmas, you know what? Christmas is only 2 weeks away from today, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm getting
2
nervous.
weeks from today. You'll get it, Joe.
I ordered the damn Aura. Where is it?
Joe's already ordered one of these. There he goes, Kenny.
You know what? The demand is probably that high.
Yep. Aura Frames, A-U-R-A, and it's tough sometimes to, find that special gift. Let's call it a special gift. Aura is the perfect answer. I've had one, I don't know, maybe 3 months, and I couldn't enjoy it anymore. You just load all your pictures into it. Videos, too. It comes with sound, so you can, I can sit and play guitar if I want and watch myself, which would be weird. But you can do that if you'd like to. We have about 800 different pictures and videos on ours. About 400 of those, incidentally, I've noticed recently are of Larry, our pug. But, what are you going to do? For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling... Why did it?
That was for the pug.
Right.
Oh, the pug, Larry?
Yeah.
Oh, Larry loves you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames, which have been named #1 by Wirecutter. To get you $35 off, use promo code GL at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code GL. The deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Aura Frames.
Yeah. Playoffs.
You cannot stop him. He'll just make a move. Joe Souchere.
Hofferman Water and Connecticut are here for you. They know you're going to be entertaining this time of the year, and now is a great time to get on that schedule and have Hofferman Water come out for that free water analysis. Yeah, I use the word free, but you got to get on that schedule. That's your first step. You do that one of two ways. Call them directly at 612-895-2440 or book your appointment online at hoffermanwater.com. And as long as you're on that website, you can see every single different water treatment system that they have to offer. Maybe it's a water softener. Maybe it's an iron rust and odor filtration system or a brand new drinking water system. Any one of those will make an amazing difference in the quality of your water. So they'll come out for that water test analysis, and they're going to give you this thing that's called a water score. And then based upon that water score, they're going to give you recommendations on how they can upgrade the quality of your water. And that's because bad water can affect almost every aspect of your home. It's going to wreck your appliances. Don't do that. Call Hofferman Water and Connecticut. They are the best. They have done that for me. They will do that for you. 612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them here on the Garage Logic podcast. Johnny?
John, may I have a moment of your time?
Sure.
I have a make a move observation. Remember, the original concept of making a move in GL is to just keep moving. It's a Garage Logic principle of life that moving, even if it takes you out of your way, is better than just sitting.
Idle.
Here's what I found. I have found during the height of a snowfall, not today necessarily, but what day is this, Thursday?
Yep.
Tuesday and Wednesday, I found myself making moves to take myself out of harm's way in the event an inattentive driver might have banged into me. I found myself... To keep moving, I would avoid certain intersections or whatever, knowing that I didn't want to get slid into. That was my make a move.
Can I share with you one? Because I almost experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
So I left here yesterday, took 94 to Lexington, took Lexington southbound, tried to get toward Ide Mill Road. Okay?
Yeah.
And some guy passed, and he was in a small Nissan sedan, and he went through a bunch of people on Lex. And then took a right once we got south of, that's McAllister, right? What school is right there? McAllister.
Yeah. But McAllister is nowhere near Lexington.
Well, what's the school that's right off Lex? Whatever it is.
St. Luke's?
Thank you. Whatever school is right there, he took a right, buried himself right into a street that hadn't been plowed. It was fantastic.
That's all I had. My make a move sometimes are unnecessary, but are done out of precaution.
So are you saying, let's say you're traveling southbound on any random road approaching Ford Parkway. Before you get to Ford Parkway, you'll hang a left and go through a more gentle intersection?
Yeah, I might, yeah.
I applaud that.
Yeah.
That's slick there, city boy.
Yeah, thank you.
Did we go with it, by the way?
We're going back to John.
Hashtag it'll melt, or are we taking good care of the streets in St. Paul?
There's been a plow or two out.
Okay.
It's all right.
I think I remember doing that. That's how I would always avoid 42nd and Cedar, 38th and Cedar.
Yeah.
You always take one of the less traveled cross streets. Yeah, absolutely, Joe.
In national and
it's the first good thing you've said all day.
Right, I know. Thank you. Thank you.
I Wow. International news. The Federal Reserve announcing a 0.25 percentage point cut in benchmark rates yesterday. That brings the range to between 3.5% and 3.75%. The decision was unusually split, with the Federal Open Market Committee voting 9-3 for the board's third rate cut this year. 2 members voted against the reduction, citing stubborn inflation. A third sought a larger half-point cut amid concerns of a slowing jobs market. The board signaled rates would likely remain unchanged for the coming months. President Trump said the U.S. has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, latest escalation in what has become an increasingly tense relationship between the two countries. The president said, "We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very large, and other things are happening."
Largest ever. Was the largest ever.
Tremendous.
Actually. And he ended the sentence with actually. I think largest ever, actually. Trump did not provide additional details about the seizure and told reporters they would hear from, quote, the appropriate people about it. Trump said it was seized for what he called a very good reason. Asked what would happen to the oil on the tanker, the president said, "I assume we're going to keep the oil." Attorney General Pam Bondi said the FBI, the Pentagon, and the Department of Homeland Security had collaborated to execute the seizure warrant for the tanker, which she said was used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela to Iran.
Now, did the Coast Guard guys sign up for that? I didn't think that was a Coast Guard operation.
Well, they're special forces, so
I mean, they were coming down off helicopters.
Right.
Coast Guard guys. They're supposed to go out and rescue, Mr. Harrigan in his tipped-over sailboat.
Are you going to take this from them? You know they've been wanting to do this for a long time.
No, you're right. You're right.
They signed up for it, right?
Yeah, I shouldn't take it from them.
And we've brought this up before many times on Garage Logic. It gives them a chance to use the equipment.
They get to use stuff.
Yeah, cool stuff.
And I think the boat was bound for Iran anyway, wasn't it?
Yep.
All right. That's why it got stopped.
The Department of Homeland Security signed a $140 million contract to buy 6 Boeing 737s that the agency will use for deportations. DHS penned the deal with Daedalus Aviation, a Virginia-based company whose leadership also signed a separate nearly $1 billion contract with the agency to support self-deportations. DHS facilitated over 1,700 deportation flights to 77 countries since January, according to analysis. DHS often relies on charter flights to do so, although it had considered buying some planes from Spirit Airlines. That deal reportedly fell through amid concerns that the jets were not functional. DHS aims to facilitate
Wait
1 million.
Wait a minute.
Huh? Yeah.
I'd hate to be a Spirit Airlines passenger waiting in the terminal and read this on the news. We won't buy your planes because they don't work.
I actually tried to find some more info on that, and I couldn't find any. Every story just had that description, so I don't know.
We'll get you air.
We'll get you there.
Yeah.
DHS aims to
Airline
facilitate
City.
1 million deportations by the end of President Trump's first year in office. So far, the agency says it's deported more than 579,000 people.
You know, I once asked a guy who was very knowledgeable about the airline industry, why in the hell would anyone want to own an airline? You know what the answer is?
What'd I tell you?
It's fun. I can see that. I can see where it would be fun if they don't crash.
You want to come over and work some of the queue lines over there?
No,
for
I don't.
IHS?
I'm not talking about your end of it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Could you even imagine him spending 25 minutes doing that gig?
Love to watch him work 20 minutes the queue line with passengers that...
Matthew, he's talking about sitting in his plush office with his feet up on the desk, watching his stocks go up.
Yeah,
peering
exactly.
Peering through the blinds.
Thank you.
Open the glass door, peering through the blinds.
I got an idea. You know how you've been accused at the airport of being Mr. Undercover Boss and S?
I have been accused of that.
We should have Joe work the Spirit Airlines counter, issuing out tickets for a given
just tell
afternoon.
people I wouldn't fly this airline if I were you.
You know you're not going to get there,
I think
right?
Spirit is already
You sure you want to do this?
You know that crap can's going to fall out of the
gone,
sky,
aren't
right?
Aren't they gone from the Twin Cities?
They are. They have been vacated at Terminal 1.
This thing's only running on 7 cylinders. Right. Take a chance if you want.
Latest victim of the fight against DEI, Calibri font. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has ordered diplomatic correspondents to stop using the font and return to the more traditional Times New Roman effective yesterday. Rubio said the 2023 shift to the Calibre font emerged from misguided diversity, equity, and inclusion policies pursued by his predecessor, Anthony Blinken.
I don't understand this, John.
Well, it was, I don't know, it was meant to aid readers with disability, like dyslexia as well.
It was giant clown type?
No, it's just a normal type.
Oh.
If you see the difference between that and New Times Roman, you kind of go, okay, I don't get the point.
All right.
It was originally added to help people aid readers with disabilities as well as those using screen readers and other assistive technologies. Oil companies offered $300 million for drilling rights in the Gulf of Mexico yesterday in the first of 30 sales planned for the region under efforts to ramp up U.S. fossil fuel production. The sale came after President Trump's administration recently announced plans to allow new drilling off Florida and California for the first time in decades.
John,
Scientists...
My Google map calls it the Gulf of America.
Yeah, John, it's the Gulf of America.
And if I had my choice, it would be Gulf of Trump.
Yeah, it's the Gulf of Mexico, okay? That's all I'm saying.
What else can we rename?
Mexico. Scientists in Great Britain say ancient humans may have learned to make fire far earlier than previously believed after uncovering evidence that deliberate fire setting took place in what is now eastern England about 400,000 years ago. Wow. The findings, described in the journal Nature, push back the earliest known date for controlled fire making by about 350,000 years. Until now, the oldest confirmed evidence had come from Neanderthal sites in what is now northern France, dating to about 50,000 years ago. The discovery was made at Barnham, a Paleolithic site in Suffolk that has been evacuated. No, it's been excavated for decades. A team led by the British Museum identified a patch of baked clay, flint hand axes fractured by intense heat, and 2 fragments of iron pyrite, a mineral that produces sparks when struck against flint. Researchers spent 4 years analyzing to rule out natural wildfires from this whole thing. The pattern on the material, they say, is consistent with a constructed hearth rather than a lightning strike.
Let me tell you something else.
Yeah.
What's that big rock formation in Wyoming? I'm having a mental break.
Stonehenge.
No.
The wall?
No. I rode my motorcycle around it.
Devil's Tower.
Devil's Tower. You know what the latest archaeological thought on that is? That's a fossilized tree.
No.
I'm not kidding. I think that there's a lot of proof beginning to be gathered that this was once a land of giant beings, including things that grew were giant. Oh. That is thought to be a tree stump.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
You are delving into the secrets that the Smithsonian Institute has tried to hide from Americans.
Where did you read that, in all seriousness?
No, we heard it. Hi, this is Art Bell, west of the Rockies.
I don't know where I read it. I can't remember. It was probably the Daily Mail, so it's false. But it's really fun to think. And when you look at it, that looks like bark. So there. That's what I'm telling you.
Tower.
Wait.
Okay.
What do you think it is?
It's a tree.
No, but it's what?
Bark.
Woof.
No, not that kind of bark.
If I admit to something now that happened in the parking lot of Devil's Tower in the 80s,
I don't want to hear
be
it.
Sent to jail?
Yes.
It's nothing tawdry, but it is something.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's illegal.
Define tawdry for you.
It's not tawdry. I opened the door and
Cleaned your ashtray.
Fell down.
Yeah.
Got out of the car and hit the pavement.
That's all right.
Oh. You weren't real aware of your surroundings at this point in your life?
Blackout.
It's a very interesting piece to come up on, and suddenly...
It really is.
There it is.
Well, I'm looking at a close-up picture of it. And
That's a tree. That's a tree. Back from when we were big people.
It looks like bark on the top, yes.
Yeah.
I had to return 20-some years later just so I could actually see it for the second
So you could actually put that push pin that you've seen it and you've been there. Okay. Yes.
Just think how big the trees must have been if that was a tree.
Pretty big trees.
Wow.
Tough to hug that puppy, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe it was a special tree.
A very special tree, John.
It's not where the UFOs landed. You guys have seen...
oh, yeah. There was a movie about that.
Yeah.
Why aren't there more remnants of trees like that? If it
John,
was a tree?
no further questions.
Well, John, I can answer that too.
Oh,
okay, good.
Maybe they're underwater.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe they're in the Mariana Trench.
This
You know what?
causes me for
There's a
reflection.
lot going on out there we don't know anything about.
Devil's Tower's a cool name, too.
It is,
It's
but
a
it
very
looks like
cool
a
name.
tree. Right, a big tree.
Big
Just going
magma.
back to
Thank
that
you,
tree
John.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, rookie.
Let's go. Let's go to the holiday auction. Where is it? It's at garagelogic.com. Keyword auction. The Garage Logic holiday online auction starts this Friday, tomorrow, runs through 8 p.m. Thursday, 12/18. This is for 1 week only. There's thousands of dollars of items that will be up for bids. And you really need to see the entire website to know. EcoFun Motorsports has got several items there. Garage Floor Geeks, a stay at the Intercontinental Hotel at the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, the Metropolis Resort. Go to garagelogic.com, enter keyword auction, you register, you view, and you bid, and you start that tomorrow on Friday. It's a great site, and you can just poke around. You can get a lot of your Christmas shopping done right then and there. Where is it? Online at garagelogic.com. The keyword is auction. Register, and then save up to 70% for your holiday shopping.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
It's gift-giving season, and there's no better place to get those gifts than at mastersmaples.com. Quick review, by the way, from the Reavers Thanksgiving Extravaganza. Did the turkey with the savory seasoning from Masters Maples. Mwah.
I threw some savory seasoning on my turkey. I made a turkey.
Zero leftovers.
Yeah.
Zero leftovers.
Did you
That's
make
how
it
good
that
was.
day or the day before?
I made it the night before.
Smart.
Then crock-potted it,
Smart.
so that way the oven was free. But everyone at the gathering raved about the flavor from the turkey and the Masters Maples savory seasoning. There's also the sweet seasoning, by the way. But that's, I'm missing the key point here. Get the best 100% pure maple syrup that Minnesota has to offer. So you can get that online at mastersmaples.com. Also, by the way, all of those products are available at all of your Fratelloni's hardware and garden stores locations. And you know what? For that baker in your life, 100% pure maple sugar. Boy, oh boy, is it good stuff. But see it for yourself. Go to mastersmaples.com. It's the creation of Ben, a loyal GLer whose creation, 12 years ago now, led to this wonderful, wonderful product. Again, Masters Maples and mastersmaples.com. Place your order today. Let them know that you heard about it on the Garage Logic podcast. And tell Ben we sent you. Joe?
Yesterday, we said that the traveling linemen were in, I pronounce it Cairns, Queensland. Sanibel Jim tells me it's pronounced Cairns. Cairns.
Really?
Yeah.
Mr. B, Cairns.
And the traveling linemen today are cruising southwards on the Coral Sea. Port of call will be Airlie Beach in Queensland, Australia. We're having quite a trip, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah, I'll say.
It's day 46 at sea. Oof. And it's only because of that we do this on this day.
47 days at sea.
On this day.
Joe, today is December 11th.
In 1876, Ada Louise Comstock was born in Moorhead. She became the first dean of women at the University of Minnesota, and then, beginning in 1912, served as dean of Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts. Although she, in effect, ran the school from 1917 to 1918, she was not given the title of acting president because she was a woman. She became the first president of the American Association of University Women in 1921 and served as president of Radcliffe College from 1923 to 1943. Right here from Moorhead. On this day,
December 11.
In 1895, on this day, after a sensational trial, Harry T. Hayward was hanged in a Minneapolis jail. Wasn't it hung? Whatever. For the murder of Catherine Ging, owner of a fashionable dressmaking establishment. He had arranged for her to be killed so that he could collect her life insurance
It never
money.
works out that way.
Does it really? On this day,
December 11th.
In 1956, the dwellings in Swede Hollow, a St. Paul immigrant neighborhood, were burned after the city health department declared them contaminated.
What?
The Swede Hollow used to be full of ramshackle homes.
Okay, got it now.
On this day,
December 11th.
In 1970, Norman E. Borlaug, University of Minnesota alumnus and crop researcher, received the Nobel Peace Prize for his research in hybridizing wheat to increase crop yields. Borlaug is known as the father of the Green Revolution. On this day,
Joe, today is December 11th.
In 1999, St. Paul native Paul Molitor announced his retirement from baseball, having spent his final 3 seasons with the Twins. His career hits numbered more than 3,000, most of them from his years with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Didn't he win a batting title when he was like 41?
I don't know. On this day,
Joe, today is December 11th.
In 1999, after 16 months of bitter protest, 4 oak trees sacred to the Metawakan Dakota community of Mendota were cut down to make way for the rerouting of Highway 55 in Minneapolis. On this day in Minnesota's sports disappointment history.
Joe, who'd we lose to today?
December 11th, on this day in 1927, the Duluth Eskimos played their last game and lost to the Bears 27-14. On this day.
That's when football was football.
On this day.
December 11th.
1981. Minnesota's Scott Ledoux lost the IBF and USBA World Heavyweight title bout to Greg Page.
Oh, Scotty.
And finally on this day.
On December 11th.
In 2018, Vikings OC, what's that?
Offensive coordinator.
Oh, John DeFilippo.
Yep.
DeFilippo was fired and replaced by Kevin Stefanski.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Stefanski now?
He's the head coach of your Cleveland Browns.
That's what I thought, yeah. Well, thank you very much, yellers.
Okay. Cleveland. Thank you. Yeah, I went to Cleveland.
Hey, please do us a favor if you have not done so already. Hit that, smash that subscribe button on the Garage Logic YouTube channel where you can watch the show each and every single day starting right around noon. It also gives you the ability to comment in real time. Yeah, you just got to look for it in the Garage Logic YouTube channel. And you can also search for us on all of our social media channels.
Oh, tomorrow's the music. Stephen C. and Pat and John and Jillian and the whole deal. Christmas show.
It'll be fun. It'll be festive. Yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today at garagelogic.com. Time once again to check in with our guy, Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold is with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And now is the time for you to do the same. So do not delay. Do exactly what I did and pick up that phone and dial 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. When you call that number, you're going to get Josh. And he is there for you for that free, yes, I use the word free, 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And he will always give you the straight talk. He will never give you the sugar-coated advice. And he is on the line with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And Josh, boy, oh boy, we've got some big news coming out of the Fed today, don't we?
Well, it actually came out. Well, we do have some news coming out of the Fed both today. We had news coming out of the Fed yesterday, and that was pretty much what I'll say had been predicted. Fed cut interest rates 25 basis points, or 0.25%. They were, we'll call it semi-hawkish going forward, as they indicated the pace of cuts in the next year would be very slow, and of course would be dependent on the pace of inflation as well as the pace of job creation or job elimination. The Fed did cut back on quantitative tightening, which to me was a big thing, and that combination did provide a nice boost both to the Dow Jones Index, more so than it did to NASDAQ. Companies that got a boost or have gotten a boost off the cutting of interest rates have been some of the banks, notably Goldman Sachs, which has been on a little bit of a tear of late, Visa, American Express, because lower interest rates, could mean a little bit more spending. People have a little bit more spending power. Caterpillar, Home Depot also got a nice boost as lower interest rates could particularly lower longer term rates could impact the mortgage market, bringing mortgage rates down, which would be a nice boost for the housing market. And if we have a nice boost in the housing market, that will filter through to the rest of the economy. So there's a lot of, we'll say, add-ons to cutting interest rates, at least on the shorter term. Nonetheless, this was not a unanimous. Several Fed governors did not want to cut rates as they believed that the economy is still strong, inflation is still higher than the Fed would like. The Fed's target is still 2%. Inflation is running higher than that. We've discussed why inflation is still running higher than that, as the CPI index is 35% related to housing and mortgage-adjusted rents. And I haven't seen mortgages yet come down, nor have rents come down. And another significant portion is insurance and the cost of your health insurance, your car insurance, your homeowner's insurance. They have not come down at all or even leveled off. They're still going up at 2 or 3 times the rate of inflation. So, yes, inflation is still there. The concern, of course, of Fed Chief Powell was the potential increase in unemployment. And that has been seen through many companies, whether they be industrial or even in technology. So that is something to consider and could impact, future Fed cuts. Nonetheless, the cuts in interest rates have benefited many of the banks, particularly companies like J.P. Morgan or Goldman Sachs. They've benefited American Express and Visa, and definitely have benefited companies in the housing industry, such as Home Depot, Lowe's, and Caterpillar. So just something to look at. On the technology side, because tech has continued to lead the market, there have been concerns about a bubble forming in artificial intelligence stocks, but I have said before, I don't see that bubble at all. So we're still in the early innings of artificial intelligence development, and I still think some of the winners there are going to be favorites of mine, Apple and Amazon.
Excellent advice, as always, Mr. Money Talk. You heard him, GLers. Now is the time for you to pick up the phone and make the call for that free 48-minute financial consultation, just like I did by dialing 952-925-5608, where you always get straight talk and never, ever sugar-coated advice. Josh, once again, thank you so much for the time and the chat. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Chris.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorsement.